All right. Hello, everybody. We're back with episode 5 of the Gauntlet. And here today with us, we have International Master Chris Yoo. How are you doing today, Chris?
Right.
So we were just talking beforehand. Oh, sorry, they're yelling at me about the axe. I'll throw the axe. Um, so this is your first time on the show, and I know you've seen a little bit and you've practiced a little bit. I think I heard you were doing some practice over the last couple days. Is that true?
Yeah, I maybe just practiced yesterday, but yeah. Okay.
Gotcha. Hey, that's a little bit of practice helps. Oh, and I forgot. I also wanted to congratulate you for your performance. Was it 2 days ago in the Junior Speed Chess Championship where you took down Hans Niemann? Right? Is that
Yeah,
correct? So you're on
yeah.
to the semifinals.
Uh, there's,
Or is it the quarterfinals? I can't remember.
I think I think it's the quarterfinals.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Well, that's exciting stuff. So in the meantime, while we're talking, so if anybody hasn't seen the Gauntlet, Chris is going to play 3 games against viewers. First one, and he's going to take on from these series of handicaps, and so he can choose as many handicaps as he wants. That's another thing I should specify. If you take on too many, sometimes some people forget what handicaps they took on, so it can get confusing. So you want to try to make sure you remember. So I think you have the chart now, so you can see it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
yeah.
are
I
going to need.
sort of wrote down what handicaps I might want to choose at least for the first
Oh,
one.
perfect. So we are going to need, first off, we're going to need an 800 to 1200 chess.com rapid player to challenge Chris in his first game. And I think we have some people who have signed up. Let me check the signups actually. Yeah, so I think we have somebody signed up for the 1200 to 1600 and the 1600 to 2000 as long as they are available. So in the meantime, we're still looking for somebody 800 to 1200 to play. So if anybody in chat wants to take on that challenge, just post your chess.com username in the chat, and we'll get you going. And I see you've beaten one of the members in the chat before. We have Mitch Fabian in the chat. Apparently, you've taken him down in Lee Chess pool before. So we'll just hang out here. I'll play if they don't show. Telling Moose, what rate? I can't remember I can't remember everybody's rating anymore. What rating are you about? So if anyone joining, we're looking for an 800 to 1200 player to challenge you, and then we can get this show started. Oh, telling Moose you'd be in the 1200 to 1600. Dordum says he's 800 compared to you. Yeah, we do already have Sponge Human. Sponge Human is set up so far for the 1200 to 1600. And then we currently have BC Gollum or Harry McDork for the 1600 plus. So we do have D-Shock is 1100. They're the only one I've seen so far. Well, D-Shock, if you're the only one that's in that rating range, it's going to be you, regardless of whether you're a sub or not. So, D-Shock, what's your chess.com username? Because it sounds like we'll pick you, sub or not. We'll let you take on Chris. D-Shock1. Let me send that to. So, Chris, did you see that username in there? Or I can send it to you. So it's
Okay, send
D-Shock1. All right, D-Shock. I think it's going to be you. You're going to get the first match. Well, first we have to go through all the handicaps, but oh yeah, Dordum. Yeah, I know. I remembered. So all right, so let's pick your handicaps while D-Shock is make sure you're in live chess and getting everything ready. So what are you thinking your handicaps are going to be for this first round? And he said they are about 1056 rapid.
Okay. I think I'm choosing blindfold. Bomb cloud. No en passant. I'll have 2 3-minute handicaps. Knights can't touch rim. Pawns only move 1. Queens can capture pawns. And rooks 5 moves each.
Oh, you gonna remember all that?
I have it written down. I'll be making sure. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I like the confidence. All right. So all right, chat. I'm telling him that he needs to remember it. You guys are gonna have to help me keep an eye on everything too, because I got to remember all these also. So all right. So the two 3-minute time odds. So if I see your clock hit below 6 minutes, if it hits 6 minutes or below 6 minutes, it's done for. So since you picked, so you got 2. So you got 2 3-minute time odds. Pawns only move 1. No en passant. That's a kind of a easy one. A lot of people pick that one. Queens can't capture pawns. That'll be rooks only get 5 moves. So chat, you got to make sure you help me count all his rook moves. Knights can't touch the rim. I've seen a bunch of people forget that one. I think including David. I think he forgot it when he did it. Must play the Bond Cloud and then play blindfold. That sounds good to me. All right, so D-Shock, are you in a live chess? So I think what'll be easier, Chris, if you can challenge them. Yeah, it's below 6 minutes because it's 2 3-minute time odds. So basically, he's giving up 6 of his 10 minutes. So he's got 4 minutes. It took me a while. It's kind of confusing, so I always forgot that too. But let me 2 times.
So just random color.
Oh, you're white the first game. So you play white, black, white. So yeah, you can challenge them to unrated, just 10 minutes plus 2. You're white the first game.
Okay.
Oh, and you're already
wait.
off.
Okay, I wait. No, he's white. This is wrong.
Oh yeah, you can stop.
I'll just rematch and then it should work.
And would you like to?
No?
You can just cancel it. You can just. Do you want me to mute, or will I be distracting if I'm talking?
Oh, maybe turn off my volume.
Well, I can mute myself in Zoom. Some people don't mind. Some people I can go ahead and mute myself if that's easiest for you.
Yeah, just mute yourself.
Oh, sorry, I just saw your message too. We also do no castling. Yeah, the points for no castling are included when you chose the Bond Cloud. So those points are basically included in there. So it counts basically.
Okay.
All right. So let me finish this spreadsheet. Sorry, David's faster at this stuff than I am. Where am I? Rooks get 5 moves. Sorry, I'm just filling this stuff in so the chat can be reminded. Live chess. Let me do that. Hide the leaderboard. All right. Sorry. All right. I think I've got everything set up. So yeah. So now if you're able to challenge D-Shock as white, you should be good to go. And good luck. And I'll mute myself so I'm not talking and distracting you. All right, let me fix the board. And it looks like they're good to go. All right, guys, everyone, you guys are going to have to remind me. Keeping track of all this stuff. So he's playing the F3 Bond Cloud. which was established as allowed. Yeah. Oh, sorry. And I'm sorry. I'm trying to catch up on chat too. So the Bond Cloud is in no castling. The points for included in no castling are included in the Bond Cloud. So you can't actually take both. They've inflated the points for that reason. All right. So pawns only move one. He's good so far. Knights can't touch rim. Just a couple of the key ones you have to remember. And we're going to have to count those rook moves. So that counts as one rook move. Attacking the bishop, going ahead and trading. Getting that king to safety. So I can go ahead and I will mark the Bond Cloud as green. That's an obnoxious green. Sorry about that. All right, and he's playing blindfold. Points for that. All good so far. More pot-like green. That was unintentional, but a good call. Oh yeah, sorry. The window wasn't big enough, so I added a little comma to try to fit all the handicaps in there. All right, so D-Shock is playing pretty solid so far. D-Shock is actually one of the higher rated kind of first games I feel like that we've seen. Maybe I'm wrong, but so far seems pretty solid. Yeah, so the knights can't touch the rim. When we say the rim, they can't touch the A or the H file. They're allowed to touch the first and the eighth rank, but they can't touch the A or the H files. Yep, rook has moved once, so the rook on F1 has moved once. Each rook gets 5 moves. Doing fine on time so far. Again, he took on 2-3 minutes, so as long as he doesn't get under 6 minutes. So D-Shock is thinking it over. It is exhausting. It's hard trying to make sure I follow all these handicaps and do it all right. You gotta give David credit. He makes it look much smoother than I do. All right, nice move, attacking the bishop, covering the C pawn. That is a good point. Sometimes when they take those take certain handicaps, it kind of gets them into a little trouble when they have to try to checkmate if you're getting rid of all your pieces, especially if they choose no promotion. That's a tough one. So if you trade all your pieces, then you need to make sure you have enough pieces left to actually checkmate. Which Lafong got close and he made it happen, but it made me nervous. Just go for the back rank mate. One thing so D-Shock is swung the queen over. I don't know if they're going to try to get swing one of the rooks over in time too. Yeah, Lafong had a couple games that I was nervous for. I think the second game was the one that I was real nervous about. All right, that rook has moved twice. So that rook only has 3 moves left. It didn't do an announcement in Discord, did it? Sorry, let me post that. You guys keep an eye on the game. Make sure I don't miss anything. All right. There's an announcement. That's a stupid announcement thing. Sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, got that knight back out of the way. So far everything's good. He hasn't missed any of his because he took on a decent amount of handicaps, and he said that was his strategy for the first game, is to try to take on a decent amount. Promotes to a knight on h8. that'd be harsh. All right, that's that rook's third move. He's got to be careful. I guess once it gets down to like 4 moves, if you have to sacrifice it, maybe he's planning on it. It's on a good line. Yeah, sacking the rook. I would guess if he's attacking the queen again. Yeah, if he's able to sack that rook, then it all makes it worth it. All right, so the bishop's got to go back to h6. Is that right? Oh, and then the knight, well, hold on, the knight can't take that bishop though. Does he remember that? So if the knight takes the bishop, puts the knight on the rim, is it worth it? Well, yeah, that's what he wouldn't take the bishop either way, so that's your skill level. Me, I see the bishop, I'm like, I'm taking it. Trade. Always trade. That's the rule. Threatening knight d5. Oh, true dat. See, Daster, that's why you're here. All right, yeah. So all right. So then this rook has moved. Or you can't see my mouse. That rook says 1. So the dark squared rook has moved 3 times. The light rook. Ooh, that set up a fork. Hey, how Gilda? Is that not a pretty nasty fork? There's the sack. Oh wait, no, it's not a fork. Sorry. Well, no, it's not. Sorry. His body mannerisms scream intensity. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. I think it might end up better for black after it does that. Close on the clock. He can get down to 6, so he's still got 2 minutes on his clock. D-Shag is trying to figure out this Does he take it? Do you guys see what the move is? The sacrifice? Oh, see, I thought he was just going to take it. Yeah, queen g3. So I'm surprised. All right, wait. So that's that rook's fourth move. So I think maybe he was kind of expecting that them to take that rook, because that rook is. Do you just take another pawn? Because he's got one more move with the rook. That's what I was wondering. Queen takes h7, queen takes pawn. A fire sword, welcome. Now you just trade rooks. That rook is on his last move. Or wait, no. Why can't you just still just take the h pawn, then take the rook with check? I guess either way. Yeah, I guess if you take no, sorry, yeah, you still win the rook that way anyway. Sorry. Yep. All right, so the last rook has only moved once. Am I right? He only has 1 minute. Yeah. All right. So yeah, he is getting a little close on time. He's got to make sure he knows that. I think he can mate him in time. Maybe. Ooh, okay. That's dangerous. T-Shock's got to see that threat. Obviously. I guess is there. They got to drop it back somehow, or can't go there. Rook f4, rook h4. Yeah. All right. As you can spend 4. Because the time odds is basically subtracting the time. Hold on, let me think of this. Yeah, that's mate. He did it with everything. Nicely done. Let me double check with chat. He got all of them, right?
I think I moved my rook 5 times. I was trying to make sure I didn't move it 6.
Oh, yeah. we were paying attention. we were very nervous. We were like, is he keeping track? So yeah, you were able to take that rook with the 5th move.
Keep track of everything, and I somehow did it, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, that was very well done. So I was worried that you kind of lost track maybe, but as far as am I wrong? He got every one of his things. He didn't mess up anything. So let me see. So that
already beat Joe Papa. That's nice.
Oh yeah, that is true. You did 1325. You have now. That is the second highest first round score of all time, only behind Zierk. Zierk scored a 1425. So you beat Bach, you beat Meyer, you beat Robson. That is not a bad first round. All right.
I think I was almost as efficient as possible with how many times I moved. I moved my rook.
You were very efficient with it. So we were kind of figuring out you're probably gonna. We assumed there was gonna be a sacrifice, and I kind of thought that he would take the rook. So then he didn't. So then you kind of had this extra rook moves. But that was a good game, D-Shock. Way to go. As we're talking, I can't remember who do we have signed up for the 1200 to 1600. Oh, Human Sponge. Are you still around? Are you still available? Sorry, I'll just get up your next opponent while you're thinking about Sponge Human. Did I have it backwards? Sponge Human Sponge. Yep, you're available. All right, so let me get your chess.com username is Zachary Goldstein. And then you just send it in there anyway. So I'll send that. Let me send that to Chris. That is your next opponent. Now your next opponent is rated 1585. So he is on the higher range of this group. So take that into account while you're deciding on what handicaps you want to take. Sorry, and I forgot to give you the axe throw. Is chat yelling at me? Well, Harry, I mean, you're in the range. The range is what it is. So whether you're high or low, because this round will be on the higher end of this, and if you play, you're on the.
I'm gonna do things the same, except for I'm gonna remove the rooks move 5 times, and the queens can't capture pawns.
Okay. So that means you want 2 3-minute time-ons. Pawns only move 1. No en passant. Knights can't touch rim. Must play Bond Cloud and play blindfold.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let me. Queens can't capture pawns. And rooks only get 5 moves. So let me get that off. I'm just updating this spreadsheet. Alrighty, so those are your selected handicaps. So if that all looks good to you, and if you're ready, I think you can go ahead and Sponge Human Sponge, whichever one it was, I can't remember. Make sure you are in live chess, and then Chris can send on the challenge. So you will play black on this one, Chris.
Okay.
Alrighty. Oh, I'll mute myself so I don't distract you. And they're back off. Good luck, Sponge Human. All right, guys. Everyone has to again help me remember. Pay attention. These ones. Pawns only move 1. No, it's not. Knights can't touch them. Those are the trickiest ones to follow. Hey, D-Shock. Sorry, I was. That was a pretty good game. You put up a good fight. All right, and so Chris is, as I said, he scored the second highest first round in history. And he has the opportunity. He's going for the same amount of points that Bach got in round 2. So if he were to get all of his points, all of his handicaps, he will be ahead of Bach after round 2. And also remember, just the way that round 1 go, I'll also say if he does score over 3,000, he initiates the bonus round, which is round 4, where he will take on a national master. So I don't know if we have any national masters in the chat. If we do get to that point, we may need somebody to step up to challenge him. I know Bach and Zierk both hit that level, so yeah, Harry, you're gonna play you're gonna play black against him, so he's gonna take out all of his rage on you. Nah, Harry, you got it. You just get in his head. That's what the handicaps are for. It's to even the playing field slightly. Wait, I can't remember. Dornum, are you a master? Come on, let's get Harry some motivation. Not yet. Well, you're up there, so I honestly don't know what happens if we don't have a master in chat. Maybe we just take the highest one we've got. So maybe you will play if we get to that level. We have to get to that level, obviously. All right, I haven't missed any handicaps, right? Pawns only move one, so all right. I am chess latte. All right, everything's looking normal so far. He's using a lot more, a lot of his clock, a lot more clock than he did in the last game. So just got to be careful too. All right, he can move those rooks as much as he wants too, so he doesn't have to worry about that this game. That's a tough one to try to make sure you keep track of. Yeah, let's see. Maybe I should send something to the Discord. I'll send one. It's confusing. Sorry, let me send this. I don't know how to tag. Sorry, the tagging tagging the NMs in the chat is weird. Maybe Kostya was complaining about it the other day. Let's see if it works. All right, everyone make sure he's not messing up any handicaps, because let me send this. All right, that tag works. The National Master tag, when you do it in Discord, it doesn't pop up like it recognizes it as a tag until you send it. Sorry. All right, and I'm back. Yeah, and again, as long as something bad doesn't happen and he loses it, so he needs to score 3,000. But I figured we'd plan ahead, so we're not sitting around trying to track down an NM if we need it. I don't know how David normally finds all these people. Well, he knows people. I don't know people. All right, so Zach is going all out, trying to bring over, going for the mate. He defends it successfully with that knight move. Oh yeah, Sophie is. I wonder if she's still around or not. Well, we'll see if he. Oh yeah, I forgot he did. Well, yeah. Oh yeah, Sophie is streaming. Yeah, the knights can't touch the rim. Well, to defend mate, I guess you have to, and just sacrifice. You'd have to sacrifice the points. If the knights touch the rim, he doesn't. It's something coming from his. Maybe let me mute him. Yeah, sorry, there was some kind of feedback, so I just muted him in the Zoom call. Yeah, so like I was saying, so the knights can't touch the rim because you lose the points, but if it's to save a mate, then you're just gonna have to sacrifice those points and just try to avoid that situation. Okay, cool. Thanks, Dortam. Yeah, and again, maybe something will happen, but It reminds me of Chess Latte. Hey, if Chess Latte can get to use level, we need to start treating Latte with more respect. Just kidding. We all treat him with respect. Pushing that pawn right into a fork. Drop that piece. All right, still came out not too bad. Chris hasn't developed a couple pieces now, so I'm waiting for him to try to see what he's going to do with those. And there he goes. At least he swung one in. Yeah, Seth put an end to that. Stop feeding Latte's ego. The kid's already getting too strong. Can't sit there and give him too much more credit. All right, he's down to 7 minutes, or just about 7 minutes now. Now he's at 7 minutes, so he's got 1 minute to work with. He's thinking. Chris is 14. Yep. And actually, because I was looking up, I did a little bit of research because I didn't realize he was the youngest, I believe, youngest American to get international master up until now. I'm drawing a blank. What's the kid that just got GM? He actually, like, several months later, I think he got a international master just after Christopher did. Yeah, Mishra. All right, Zach is coming in hot now. And I will also point out that I believe, and I let David finalize all the winnings and the earnings, but since he already scored higher than Jobaba did last week, he wins $200, I believe. So whoever, if you beat the previous week's high score, you win $200. So even after all this, no matter what happens, at least he comes out with something. So if he is available, okay. All right. Well, now that we talked about that, I'm getting nervous because he's down to 31 seconds left. I don't want to have jinxed him. Attacking the queen, getting the knight out. Doran, you're saved. Okay, a lot of dancing around. Remember, he's playing blindfold. He's down to 20 seconds. Be careful of that back mate. But, yeah, time trouble and when you throw in the whole blindfold issue. I don't know. Oh, you notice he was low on time. Got to be careful with that back rank. He's going for uh-oh. That was a nice move. Man, 15 seconds left and he finds that if he moves. Zach's got to be careful there. Rook E5. He's thinking hard, trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, 15 seconds left blindfolded. Just Quick move, 12 seconds. Oh, 9 seconds. Is he going to do it? I'm getting nervous. Got to move quick. Attacking that. Okay. The H pawn is in trouble. The queen's got to drop back there, right? I'm sure he's aware of it. I think he knows his time trouble. Or there. That works. He knows because you see how fast he's playing now. Yeah, so the time we can't challenge the odds. So basically, Christopher can't get under 6 minutes because he took 2 3-minute time odds. So basically, he has to play with as if he had 4 minutes on the clock. So that's why 10. That's why somebody it's a little confused. Oh, okay, that's mate. He got him. Oh, how did he do that? Oh, GG. Man, he's good. There it is. Well done. Sorry, I muted you. You may need to unmute yourself. Oh, you get nervous there?
Yeah, I had to start speeding up near that.
Yeah, so we were watching the clock and we just kept going. He's getting lower and lower and lower, and then you found that nice bishop move to win the rook. But it's just people were concerned. I could tell you started picking up the speed, so I could tell that you knew the time trouble.
Yeah.
Man, Sponge Human, that was a good game. You had him close. You almost flagged him in this weird 6-minute flagging situation. But well done. So let me take a look at those handicaps. Let's see where that puts you. So that's 1075. Wow. You are at a total right now for the day, just through 2 rounds, of 2,400 points. So you are in very good shape. You scored. That was the highest second round points of all time. That's not bad.
And what's the most somebody has gone for? Have people gone for more?
I don't know. I don't know what the most points they've gone for. I don't have that info.
Okay.
But so basically, so if you score 600 points on this next round, that'll put you into the bonus round. And I think we already have somebody lined up. We started planning just in case you did get to that. So basically, all you need to do is score 600 points on this, at least 600 on this third round if you want to try to go for that bonus round.
Okay. So my house. Let me check my house.
Drew, no, we were talking about that earlier. So the points for no castling are included in the bond cloud, so you actually can't choose both. So that 125 points is included in the bond cloud. So that's why that's why you can't choose both. All right, so let me see. So you're next. So Harry, you're up. So your next opponent is BC Gollum, and he is rated 1614. And I will send you there. So nothing against you, Gollum. So it's not on the higher end of this rating range. So you can take that into account. I just sent you in chat their username. So Harry's he's psyching himself up. He's ready to go. So if you're just getting, I mean,
And
we'll
just
select.
just remove pawns. Pawns only move one, and then keep everything else.
All right, so remove pawns only move one. Oh, so you're going with the same time odds that we've been playing with. Can't go under 6 minutes. Playing blindfold, bong cloud, knights can't touch rim, no en passant. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah.
Going for 975, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I won't jinx him, but that he's going for it all. He's not holding anything back. I like it. It's these young guns coming in, man. You're coming out swinging.
Yo, he is. His rating from the last opponent is actually pretty similar, and I just took away pawns can only move one because I feel like it's really difficult to play with that. So
that is true. They're not far off, so that's a good strategy because your last opponent was on the higher end of that rating range, and this one's on the lower end. So it's a very, very good strategy. Let me take off pawns only move one. I think that's the only thing you took off, right? Let me just reformat that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So feel free, and so you will be white again on this. So feel free to get those challenges out whenever. And I'm assuming Harry McDork, you're in live chess. All right, so he should be there. So I think you're good to go whenever you're ready.
Weird that I can actually move my pawns 2 squares right now.
I know. that's like all right. I'll shut up and let you talk. Let you go. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I don't think I brought the lead. Sorry, I was trying to get him. Whoops. Oh no! Don't do that. Hit the wrong button. Sorry, guys. Working on it. Stop. Oh, what is happening? Come on. Hang on. It logged me out because I didn't click the I'm still here in time. All right, now we're back. Yeah, and I'll have to double check the numbers. I believe if he were to get full points this time, that would set him as the highest through 3 rounds of all time, beating Zierk and Bach. I think I'll have to double check the Zierk numbers because the totals I'm seeing included his bonus round. Whew. All right, so this one, the only got to watch those knights. No en passant. He's already doing blindfold, bong cloud, so those are already locked in. Time pressure, as long as he doesn't get worried about that. Does the 4th round count for money? Yeah. So there's a whole rules. So if you beat, I'm trying to remember all the rules. If you beat the score of the person the previous week, you get $200. If you set the highest score of the season, you get 80% of what the current jackpot is, which is currently 729, which also is a reminder. All donations, I believe, I don't know if they're separate from the tips. So all donations during this show are go into the prize fund. So if anybody wants to donate for either what Christopher could win and what everybody else did, but all donations during this show go towards the prize fund. So yeah, so he would win 80% of the jackpot, and then I think maybe in the very end, I don't know exactly. I think it's only donations. So if you use the donation tab thing down below, if you scroll down below the screen, use that little donate tab. I believe it's all of those will be contributed to the prize fund. All right, so sorry, I haven't paid attention to the game. Everything's pretty straightforward so far. Yeah, I don't know. That's a question for David. I don't think sub gifting, unless David, because David manages all that. So unless he goes in and calculates all the sub gifts that were given during the show, I'm not going to tell you to not gift subs, because you feel free to do that whenever you want. I can't guarantee that that's going into the pool. I don't know. Hey, Seth, thanks. So the prize has gone up thanks to Seth. Yeah, maybe any tips. So maybe the tips and bits might all count too. Maybe he goes back and looks through the history. I let him do that so I just don't want to give the wrong answer. What the safest thing to probably do is just to do it all. Just tip, donate, sub gift, do it all, and we'll just see what happens. How about that, guys? Is that fair? All right, working his way in. Let me do the math. If my very poor math skills are accurate, I think he is 75 points behind Zirk after round 2, because Zirk got more points in the first round, and Chris got more points in the second round. So my math is right. He is 75 points behind, but he has taken on more points in the third round. Yeah, he has taken 225 more points than Zirk did in the third round. So if he were to get full points, he will have the highest score through 3 rounds. Yeah, that's my rough math skill. So don't hold me to it, but I think I can do some simple addition, even though I'm looking at a spreadsheet, but I don't want to mess it up. Oh, I absorbed David's title while he's in Hawaii. He's in Hawaii. Kosti's going to St. Louis. Jesse's got his kids, so they're like, you host it. Okay, I can do it. I can act like I know what I'm talking about. Anyone can get the title, but can you keep it? I will lose that title. I don't think you can lose a title, but I will be the first to lose the title. Yeah, Michiko, I'll give you a lesson. It'll be the worst chess lesson of your life. And sorry, I missed a bunch of stuff coming in. Thank you, Xanth, for the gifted sub and for the bits. So I think those bits, I don't want to swear, don't clip it and send it to David, but I think those bits get put into the prize pool. And if they don't, I'm sorry, don't yell at me. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know how many. There's a check to the miserable king.
Check the miserable king.
That's what I'm here for. David doesn't have a soundboard, so that's what I get. Yeah, does anybody actually know? Does Chris have any GM norms yet? Or what his actual rating? I would normally look it up, but I got enough going on. Somebody else Google it. Oh, he was out in Vegas, and he might have gotten one. So who's opponent number 4? Assuming assuming he wins this game, nobody jinx him. That'd be rude. I believe we have Sophie Rose. I think she's going to play. Or they're going to play. So he's 24.79 FIDE. That is not bad. So he won his. So he did. Sorry for the coughing. My kids got me sick. This talking hurts it. So he got his first. So he does have one GM norm. Very good. So attacking the knight, blocking that check. He'd be a GM if it weren't for COVID. That's what they say about me too. Seriously, that must suck, especially when you're prime and then COVID hits. GM Hokey. That's the only reason why I haven't done it. I'd have to get like a new username and it would just be too obnoxious. So no, so he has one norm. So it sounds like he's 14 with one norm. I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that he's going to get it one day. You'd be a GM if you weren't for the fact you were bad at chess. It's easier to blame COVID. Don't blame that, Michiko. All right, check-in. Still got 49 seconds on the clock. He's in good shape. I think somebody had asked earlier. Dortam, you said that Sophie, again, barring any catastrophic failure, Sophie is around and they can take on Chris. Knight d4 seems reasonable. Cool. Nice, Dortam. Good old Conrad Eyelash stepping up again. Trying to decide what to do with that king. I don't know what the answer is. Does anybody? Where's that king got to go? You have to sack it. Yeah, I see what you mean. I was trying to find the mate. He found it before I could. I guess that's why he's an IM. Nicely done. Nicely done. Let's see. Let me put those points in. 900, right? He didn't get anything wrong, right? He got everything. 3,375 points. Sorry, I don't think I'd put up the leaderboard yet. Impressive showing. So, yeah. if my math is right, and it has to be, you have the highest score ever through 3 rounds. Now, remind me, what was one of the first things you said before everything started, before we went live? You said it's going to be tough beating Zirk.
Yeah, but I managed, so I went for it.
You went all out. Yeah, so that is, and we do already have, so if we can get Dortam, if you can get Sophie Rosen, so now, since you're over 3,000, that triggered the bonus round. So you have the highest score through 3 rounds, but now you come into the bonus. So you would need to get 300 and, somebody do the math. How many? Almost 400 points. So whatever that is, 350 points in this final round to fully take the throne away from Zirk, to score the complete full.
So how strong is my opponent gonna be?
350, yeah. All right, so they're getting Sophie Rose. What is Sophie Rose is a long time dojoer, or her username is Conrad Eyelash. So They are 2200 USCF ish. I think that's what is 1800. So she's tough. She can hold her own. I think someone's saying 2200. I'll need to see. That's her USCF. I'm curious to see what her. Oh, here, let's look her up. Let me search other members so that you can decide your.
I need 350 or something.
Yeah, everybody, you can see the leaderboard. Somebody do the math.
Okay.
Sorry, I was just talking to chat, not you. So I think that's what they're saying. So you need 350 to share first place total with Zirk. 375. So you need 375 to share it. Daster, what are you doing? You're saying all these different numbers. 300. So you need 375 to win it outright, I believe. 350 to tie. Yeah, I can do that math. So yeah, so 350 points would tie you with Zirk. Any points above 350, you stand out the outright current champion. Let me try to see if I can find. Oh, and there's Sophie. We're talking about you. So Sophie is currently 2195 rapid on chess.com.
Okay.
And highest was 2269 not long ago. Everyone, give Sophie a round of applause for jumping in here to take on Christopher. So Sophie, Chris is going for the all-time highest score. Let me grab their username. Oh, sorry. I'll send that to you.
Okay, I'm just gonna blindfold, no other handicaps.
Just blindfold, okay?
Okay.
That there is Sophie's username. I just sent that to you. Let me update the spreadsheet.
I'll put one 3-minute handicap.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. So 1 3-minute. 100. Oops, let me just delete that. So, all right. So you got blindfold and 1 3-minute. So if basically your clock can't go under 3 minutes.
Okay.
Sophie, you got to be ready now. All right. So let me remove these. So 3 minutes. And blindfold are the selected. So in the final round, you are still going for, in the bonus round, you're going for 600 total points, which would put you well into the leaderboard as the top spot.
Uh-huh.
Let me clear that. All right, Sophie. I'm gonna throw Dornum under the bus because I think he was the one that we were looking for National Master. Based on how this was going, we figured we were going to hit the bonus round, and we were not wrong. So, Sophie, if you just get into live chess, I think Chris can send the challenge, and we can wish you the best of luck. But we are... Yeah, Sophie beat the Scrubs 2 weeks ago, so this is try to even the playing field.
Don't see her online.
All right, let's see. Sophie, are you in live chess? Oh, your internet is cutting out. Uh-oh. If Sophie's saying they're having some internet issues right now. We believe you. Don't listen to chat. They're mean, Sophie. We know it's not an excuse, but all right. Let's see if Sophie's internet can get pulled together. If not, does anybody know any other National Masters available? She's saying it cuts in and out, so if you're okay with it, Sophie, let's just hope that it hangs out. Yeah, E. Rosenberg is the only other one that I kind of knew of. So let's give it a whirl. If you get in, and so let me see. You're back to playing black, I assume, for the bonus round, or do you get white for the bonus round? Does anybody know? So I'm just trying to see. So I'm assuming you're black again. I think we alternate. So if you want to challenge, so Sophie, if it's hanging in there and you want to get in live chess and see if it works, then Chris can send the challenge and we can get this final bonus round underway. And
so am I gonna be black?
I believe you're black. I was trying to remember if there was any reason that you'd be white again.
Okay.
I don't. I was gonna try to double check somewhere, but
Okay.
But I think if you challenge as blacks, just so that it alternates.
Okay.
I was pulling up one of the old videos really quickly. Let's see what Zierk did before I don't want to give an uneven playing field or something. All right, and they're off. Actually, Zierk did play. Sorry if I'm talking over you. Zierk did play white, so I think for the bonus round you can be white if you want to abort this game.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, all right. Sorry. Sorry, I pulled it up. Bonus round should be white. Sorry. He said he's okay. He's just going for it. All right, so yeah, let's see. Hopefully so. I don't get yelled at. It's not a big deal, and, and then he just wins. So he's coming out normal. So for future reference, it's white, black, white, white. Okay. Jordan plays this line, you never know what to do. Any line I play, I never know what to do. Yes, so far, at least according to the chess.com bars, her internet's doing okay. Okay, so he's thinking about this one, making sure he knows what he wants. If she loses, she can always blame her internet provider. It's blame Comcast. It's in the command. We already have a command for it. I assume she has Comcast. Sorry, choking. Yeah, see, it's in the blame. Everyone's got it covered. It's just it's 7 minutes of playing time. So we'll just 1 3-minute handicap. I can reword that probably. How about that? Is that better? So basically, as long as his clock doesn't get below 3 minutes, everything's golden. Just redo the whole blame command, so it's just blame command. It just creates an infinite loop. Okay. So this is the game where Chris can take his time a little bit more and really think about it. I'll just add the most long, drawn-out explanation. It fills up the whole window, just trying to explain what time odds are. Oh man, you guys didn't even remind me to do the axe throw for the last game. Have a MooBot send a command to the whatever the other stream elements, and the stream element sends one to the MooBot. It just creates an infinite cycle. Bringing the queen out, attacking the pawn, getting some action. Black wants to play bishop a6 at some point. Seems reasonable to do that. Get rid of that light squared bishop if they have to trade. I don't know if that's... You'd be tempted to push c5. There's the bishop a6. Attacking the queen. Got to move the queen. I need to get a... I don't have a spicy soundboard. We're getting some... Yeah, he's... Whoops, sorry. Thought I blew something up. I don't even know how they have this leaderboard. There's the bonus round. Oh, okay. Now I see how David set it up. Sorry, that'll blow that up for a second. Let me... Whoa, don't hit that. Sorry, I'm going to update this. 1325. 1075. 975. He was bored. He's yawning. I think he's taking this serious. Sorry. So it starts with 10 minutes minus. It'd be a lot easier if we could set up the challenges so that like the clocks would be 10 minutes versus 7 minutes to start. But apparently that's not possible or too complicated. So we just got to keep an eye on it for them. And then they've also got to remember as they're playing. All right, attacking that knight, attacking that bishop, really making them make a decision here. They move the knight. Yeah, moving the knight. Is it going to win that bishop in the end, or is that getting scary? It's rocking machine. You got to stay loose. You're just sitting in a chair. Yeah, that's true. All title players have premium. There is some way to do it. I think David just doesn't have the access to do it. I don't know who has the access to do those like custom time odds. Interesting. Didn't see that pawn push coming. Oh yeah, the Alpha Zero pushing those pawns. Throwing a whole new mix into the game. Taking that, winning a pawn. Or playing that first, that's why. That's why he knows what he's doing and I don't. She's really going after that pawn push. Let's see how he handles it. Getting rid of that threat. That was a pretty tricky bishop. I probably would have wanted to get rid of that. You think the pawn is heading for the black king? Very good analysis. I would assume the only move right there, right? Somebody tell me. I don't even. This position is weird. I don't even know who has the advantage here. Yeah, G6 seemed forced, I assume, but Bishop F8. Okay. Kind of like white. You think? Oh, okay. Yeah, just seeing this attack at my level, I'm like, I think I would prefer white, but I can see how it still seemed evil as long as you handle all that. Yeah, whatever Dan picks, just make sure you pick the opposite. Finally, that pawn is gone. Now, do you trade bishops here? Or do you just ignore it? Oh, if he doesn't get checkmated, he'll win on the queen side just because he's... Sophia spent so much energy over on the king side. Why would Sophie trade the powerful bishop? That was my thought. It feels like she's kind of giving away two of her, maybe not giving away that other bishop, but giving away two of her strong pieces. Oh, okay. Yeah. It weakens. He's already weakened the dark squares around his king, so trading away is dark squared. Bishop is a painful loss. So if you trade, do something, and then they push h6. This is tough. Yeah, he's down to 1:10 left. He was in time trouble in the last game too. So he seems to be fully aware. He didn't. Yeah, so they went ahead with your plan of getting rid of that dark squared bishop. $57 seconds left. Yeah, there's 2-second increment. Interest f6 is nice. I saw that. I'm still trying to figure it out. What is that? And I know it has to be a good move. F6. If they take with the queen, rook f7. That was he knew what he was doing. I still don't. I wasn't expecting the rook f8 or rook e8 blockading the dark squares. Okay. Huh. And protects g7. Okay. All right, so Sophie's getting down 2, obviously. Attacking that queen. Where's that queen going to go? Gotta go there. I figured that's the only possibility. It seems like he's more comfortable all of a sudden. Here comes, yeah, rook. Hey, Chess Latte. You're here in the bonus round. Things are getting spicy. Yeah, Chris seems to have neutralized the attack, so he definitely seemed more comfortable with these more recent moves. Somewhere around there, when you guys saw that, when he pushed that pawn, seemed to have kind of neutralized what Sophie had going. It feels more comfortable. This is going to come down to the wire. I think Sophie went for the attack. And now the question is, can they hang on? Yeah, so far you've called it, Dornum. If he doesn't get checkmated and is able to withstand the attack, he's going to win over here. Can't see my mouse, can you? Win over on this side. Check out those arrows, guys. Naka style. Take with the rook. Happy to trade, I would assume, right? Which is why Sophie didn't. That cover that? I don't know. Looks like a possible forced perpetual. I don't see a 13 seconds. Come on, don't lose on time. Yeah, I don't think he's going to flag. He's not like us. So he's playing quick now, obviously. If that queen moves away, that hurts. Sophie's covering that pawn. 9 seconds. Oh, come on. Yeah, he can't drop below 3 minutes. Sophie's down to 30 seconds, so it's covering the rook. 10 seconds. All right. I think with like a 10 to 30 second odds, you think he can hold on to this? Drops that pawn. Take that. Start pushing him. Oh, I'm nervous. What, Mario? You don't know me? I've been around the chess world for a long time. No, I'm I'm one of the partners. I do all the digital and the video editing and all that stuff and all the digital content for the dojo. 7 seconds. Oh. Wow. Wow. Sophie puts up a tough fight.
Okay, yeah.
That was a tough fight.
Yeah.
So Sophie's a good player. So how'd you feel?
Okay.
How'd you feel about that last game? It just we thought you had a time trouble.
Tough to play such complicated positions blindfolded.
Oh, I bet.
She played pretty well.
When
I think I played pretty solid, all things considered.
I would definitely say so. We kind of thought once you kind of held out that king attack that she put on, I figured that's where it's got to be tough for you to try to remember that position. But you were making some key moves that kept it alive. And then I think with time trouble, maybe if you had a little bit more time, you might have been able to work it through. But all in all, it was a good game played by both of you.
So yeah, you don't get any points for drawing, man.
So no points in the bonus round for you. But
okay.
But
overall, still pretty good. Yeah, this was.
I would say that's pretty good. That's so you came in just behind. You're the third highest score of all time, even with 0 points in the bonus round. Zierk and Bach are the only two that are a little bit higher than you. So that was a very, very impressive showing. So you finished with. Let me put up the leaderboard. So you finished with 3,375 points.
Okay.
So just over like 325 points behind Bach without that final round. So I would say not a bad showing at all. And the good news is you're going to come away with some prize money.
Yeah, I beat Joe Bava by a lot of points, I was saying. So.
Yes, you did. Everyone can see the scoreboard. Actually, he might not even be up there, but yeah, you took him down and took down a lot of other very strong players with you. So thank you so much for coming on. I'll let David know kind of what's going on, and he'll reach out to make sure that you get the money you deserve. But hope you had a fun time. Was it stressful?
Yeah, this was pretty difficult.
I know you've been in stressful situations in your chess career, but this is probably a little bit different.
Yeah, this is mostly for fun. So
yeah, everyone had fun. I think chat loved it. Chat was impressed by your showing, so you made the people happy.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll say we'll let go and do. Or actually, everyone, make sure to check out. I don't know when your next round of the Junior Speed Chess Champion is coming up, but if everyone didn't hear that, Chris has moved on to either the quarters or the semis. One of those, but he's moved on. So make sure to follow that. You can see him in his next match, and everyone can wish him good luck. But thanks for coming on. With that, I think we can sign off, and everyone's wishing you good luck. So
Okay,
thanks a lot.
Yeah.